The night rolls on as we see Adrian Adams, the man from the land of Gladiatos, making his way down to the squared circle. We're going to get into the history between these two individuals momentarily, but first let's bring out the opponent coming out of Mexico. Here's Luchador Gonzo, Bandido Duro, a very serious individual with a very serious mask, and both of these guys are really looking to prove something as you see the stare down there, the mad dogging at ringside. The ref's gonna have his hands full with this one. This thing's been building for months at this point. This thing finally coming to a head. We talk about the previous 4 matches that these guys have had, all tied up 2-2. This is the rubber match. This is the tiebreaker. This is going to settle the beef between these two, at least in terms of record books on paper. I don't know that there won't be any animosity that continues after the intensity that we've seen over the past couple of months. 30-minute time limit, 1 fall to a finish. You already see all the blood all over the canvas. I mean, tonight's been a very hectic night of brawling and pro wrestling. Earlier on, we saw that unfortunate situation that happened with J-Par. We don't need to talk about that right now. Let's focus on these two. Bandido Duro, there you see him in the mask. Both of these guys wearing similar colors, both of these guys with a similar agenda, and that is to win the rubber match here. And Adrian Adams will look for those lariats. Not going to waste any time going for him. There's a boot from Bandido Duro. Sidestep there, knuckle arrow from Duro. Duro now reverses the Irish whip, comes in, Harley Race style high knee. And what this really makes me think about is back in the day when I think about WCW and I think about a young Booker T and a young Chris Benoit and which one of those guys was going to be the breakout star. It was then WCW President Eric Bischoff who said, we're going to have a best of series. And it became a classic as we see the Greco-Roman knuckle lock at center ring into the drop toe hold. And it was from that match that really both of those careers were launched. Both of these guys really looking to go over in this thing. Both of these guys, Adrian Adams, as he eats that deep arm drag, who's been to the top of the mountain before in Fire Pro Online. He's been to the top of the mountain here, very respected. Bandido Duro with that shining wizard to the back of the skull. And now Duro now crosses the legs. There is a rope break there. But it's a good move because if Bandido Duro can take the legs out of Adams, Adams isn't going to have that same power behind those lariats. High crotched him that time, scooped him and slammed him. Once again, the high knee from Bandido Duro. Duro's one of these luchadors that has come in as we see the Dragon Screw leg whip and really taken over, really dominated. I mean, he has a stellar win-loss record. Adrian Adams, no slouch himself, a winner of many singles matches and battle royale matches in this organization as well as other organizations. Shot off that time, and we see the first lariat of the night, the opening salvo, if you will. Gut wrench, side salto suplex that time. And once again, that dragon screw, and the way he snaps that off is so nasty, and then follows it up with the cross-legged submission. Very easy to tear a man's ACL or MCL, maybe dislocate a man's patella, that's the kneecap, when you're unleashing those dragon screw leg whips, and he'll take it one way and he'll take the knee the complete other way. Bandido Duro not too proud to win this thing on a submission. Adrian Adams, if there's one critique I have of him as we see the front chancery here, countered into the hammerlock, is that Adams can almost become too focused on the lariats that time. Great chain wrestling here, wrist control into the side gator clutch there. It's a modified front chancery choke. He puts pressure on the jugular veins there on the side of the neck. And there's another lariat. At the same time, when I talk about how one-dimensional Adrian Adams can be, that dimension's a good dimension. It's brought him a lot of victories as Bandido Duro sent to the outside. Duro now wanted the springboard, almost looked like a European uppercut attempt, like a jaw jacker, shades of Tracy Smothers, and just couldn't quite get it there. Double leg now, and a giant spin at center ring there. This is beef. This is what we advertise it as. This has been a great night of action. In my opinion, this has been one of the finest pay-per-views that AAWA has ever put on. I don't think that the roster and the talent, as we see the short arm lariat variant that time, lateral press, Double palm press that time, couldn't get the job done. But I think the roster right now is better than it's ever been. Lariat didn't work that time. There's a boot, nice counter. Shades of Kevin Sullivan that time, double stomp. Shades of the Devil, the Taskmaster. Bandido Duro now stalking his man. Collar and elbow tie up once again, another short arm lariat. And it's almost like death by 1,000 cuts when Adrian Adams gets in there with someone at the same stature as him. I mean, when he gets in there with people who are significantly underneath him, it might take one lariat to put them out, as we see that rolling capo, that's K-O-P-P-O-U kick in the corner. Shades of Jushin Thunder Liger, another masked legend. But when we talk about Bandido Duro, when we talk about a guy that's very difficult to beat, I mean, as the name suggests, Duro meaning difficult or tough, it's going to take more than just one lariat here tonight from Adrian Adams. And I think we're still in the very early goings of this thing. I mean, like I said, both of these guys have beat one another 2 times. This is the rubber match. This is match number 5 of 5. Military press that time as Adrian Adams now surveys the damage, salutes the fans here at ringside in NYC. Coming at you once again from an undisclosed location. Double leg slam that time, the fly swatter. Double legs him back, giant swing, stomps his man. 3 times, Adrian Adams. Now with the Vader hammers. Gut wrench, once again, side salto suplex, drop Duro on his neck. There's a lot of guys in the locker room that won't even face these two guys. I mean, we've heard in the past that Black G's, for example, hates being in the ring with Bandido Duro. Duro short headbutt there. We also know that there's a number of guys who have sustained, not quite what J-Par went through, but neck injuries from some of those lariats. High knee once again scored with it. It's not an easy move to time or get the range on, but if you can, backflips off the top. A lot of times we've seen guys backflip off the top like that and then hit a DDT. We talked about Vader earlier, modified Vader bomb. Wanted 3, found 2, but it was still an early 2 count. I mean, guys usually look to put other guys away with, finishing moves and signature moves. But here tonight, I mean, really anything can catch you. This is a signature move of Duro. Off the K-Brada, corkscrew into the guillotine, follows that up with another reverse splash out of the corner, and another 2 count. The referee doing a great job, with some of these pinfalls here tonight, not only in this match, but also in the previous encounters. Duro picked back up, eats another short lariat. Looked like Adams wanted another one, but Duro had that one scouted. Removed himself from the situation, but not that time. And the thing about Adrian Adams is he'll take that lariat from either side. Ambidextrous is the man. He'll take that lariat from the left. He'll take it from the right. Almost reminds me of the late Chris Benoit. You never knew which side that clothesline was going to come from. And Bandido Duro looking to execute his man. Unfortunately, he can't pin him there in the ropes. Duro now. Shades of the late, great, beautiful Bobby Eaton. Dropped that leg off the top. Well, cradled him, might have him out of the ropes here. And the ref says no. And Duro's put away a lot of men with that move. It's like an inverted go to sleep. Adrian Adams gonna take a moment there to convalesce on the outside. Thinks he's ready, comes back in. We see that dragon screw again. And that dragon screw so dangerous, as I talked about early. And look at this, it's a dragon screw, picks his man up, twists the leg the other way. But it becomes increasingly dangerous when you're eating multiple variations of it. And then this cross-legged submission, that's not gonna help. Bandido Duro now in the driver's seat, tells Adrian Adams to bring it. Adrian Adams back to his vertical base. Commando roll and a patello drop kick from Bandido Duro. Took a moment there to pause between that and the Shining Wizard. Adrian Adams now front face lock. It's almost like a jackhammer, but he didn't fully turn into it. He went into it halfway. We've seen him use that. I believe we've seen the Mez use that same move. We just saw another lariat there from Adrian Adams. continuing the series here tonight, and both men now exchanging knuckle arrows and forearm shivers there in the corner. Who's coming out on top of this one? It's Bandido Duro, who goes low with that drop kick. Picks his man back up. About a hang time here. That's that old school lethal injection. That's the variation that Jay would have been using in TNA about 15 years ago. I don't know, 2009, 2010. Highly effective, takes his man up with a belly to back and then just drops him. We saw a guillotine there. Cover. And got a 2 count. Guillotine leg drop we saw there was nice. Bandido Duro cleared that rope. Double leg that time, once again into that fly swatter, that Alabama slam as some might call it. Coming at you here tonight, it is Beef. AAWA action comes to you live every Friday night. AAWA Fight to Survive. If you enjoy what we're doing here tonight on pay-per-view, you're going to want to tune in weekly and watch our television. Adrian Adams may be looking for that flying lariat off the top rope, and Bandido Duro, this being the 5th match, has some of this stuff scouted. Wanted that springboard European uppercut again, could not get it. Might have even been a springboard cutter he was looking to turn into. But the difference between a first match and a 5th match is there's things you can do in the first match that in the 5th match, the guy's got scouted, he's prepared for, he's done film study, and you're just not going to get him off. Duro off the top. Hammer of the Gods that time, the double stomp shades of Davey Richards between the shoulder blades that time of Adrian Adams. And you got to think, if you can work on the shoulder blades, if you can work on the spine, if you can work on the arms of Adrian Adams, you're going to take that lariat right out of his arsenal. Once again, charging capo kick in the corner from Bandido Duro. Both men down, not both men out, as Duro back to his vertical base now. Adrian Adams stuffs his man. Nothing fancy about that, nothing pretty about that, but very elegant was that standing power bomb. And then that nasty axe bomber style lariat stacks him. Only got a 2 count. That would have put down many lesser men. Bandido Duro, like I said, he's tough, he's durable. It's going to take a lot to put him away. At the same time, Bandido Duro steps up, came off that middle turnbuckle, hit him with that Pele kick, inverted dragon screw from behind. I've never seen that. Duro now, once again, drops the leg. Wanted it one more time, but Adrian Adams had rolled out of the way. Adrian Adams now into the corner and just eating these shots. I mean, Adams completely exposed in that corner, unable to cover up, still rocked. Adams gave up his back, slides between the legs. Discus lariat from behind. It was almost like a discus northern lariat. Bandido Duro, though, right back in this thing. Maybe looking for another capo kick. Scores with it. Believe that's the 3rd time tonight. Adams, though, right back to his feet. And a nasty Colby shock lariat. That sliding lariat that we saw Steve Corino use for all those years. Powerbomb. Adams now going up top. Will look for this flying lariat and got it. Adrian Adams so dangerous too. I mean, you look at this guy, he's a bigger guy. You think he's going to gas out, but he really never does. The cardiovascular conditioning of Adrian Adams is nothing less than spectacular when you look at the size of him. Bipasso from Bandido Duro that time, as we saw the spear attempt from Adrian Adams. Short drop kick there, Scud missile style. Bandido Duro, being the ring general, pulls his man off that middle cable. Irish whipped him that time to the corner. Goozle, and there's that ICU spike. And we might just be seeing Bandido Duro in the ICU after that one. Discus lariat. Once again, another lariat double palm press. The referee says that was only 2, and the brawl continues. Fans, AAWA. This is where the big boys get things done. There's a lot of leagues out there that claim to be the top Fire Pro leagues, but when you want to compete player versus player, lateral press that time off the lariat in the corner, there's really only a couple of places to go. We've got Fire Pro online, we've got AAWA, great management teams with both. important, prestigious championships in both organizations. And Bandido Duro is now with the ground and pound on Adrian Adams. Adrian Adams once again slips out the back. He's going to look for that charging lariat again, went for it. No one home. High knee, but a B paso. And once again, these two are going to engage in a hockey fight at center ring. The referee looks on. These are legal strikes. Drop kick to the knee. He's going to let these two continue. Once again, that gut wrench off the ring canvas. Dropped Adrian Adams on the back, maybe top of his skull. Adams now, and I'm not sure those are legal. Those almost look like closed fist punches there in the corner. The referee, some distance away, maybe couldn't see that. It's possible those were open fists, but that looked like a clenched fist to me. Bandido Duro once again. Couldn't get it that time. Ends up with that Kylo kick, the Pele kick. The modified enziguri, instead of going to the side, he kind of goes over the top with it. You know, we saw AJ Styles use that for a number of years successfully. And Duro now with a rocker dropper outside the ring. So many variations of the leg drop. Acai cutter. That's new. The referee continues to count. And Bandido Duro that time did not want to win this thing by countout. I mean, this is match 5 of 5. I've talked about it previously in this match. I've talked about it in previous matches that they've had. These guys really want decisive wins, as we see the Shining Wizard to the back of the dome that time. These guys want decisive wins. These guys don't want a countout win. They don't want the other guy being able to say, well, you really didn't beat me. These guys are looking for a pinfall, a submission. I'm sure they might settle for a knockout as well. But here tonight, as they try to settle the beef, what is this? That one was a little wacky. Corkscrew brainbuster that time. Adams drilled his man, left the ring that time, decided. Look at that high knee. Look at the high ring IQ there of both of these men. Some high-level fire pro we're watching. Bandido Duro now, out on the ring skirt. This isn't good. Awesome bomb to the arena floor. And Bandido Duro had the back of his head land on that hardwood floor. Not that the padding would have helped him much. I mean, it's a thin layer of padding. We've been using the same mats now. They come out, they get mopped down as once again, we see that rocker dropper as Bandido Duro looking to make his man famous. This is nasty. It's like a reverse hammerlock. I've never seen this hold before, but I know that your arm's not supposed to bend that way, and so does Bandido Duro. I'm sure Adrian Adams is well aware of that now, too. Both men kind of jockey for position. We've seen both of these guys try out different things, different game plans, different strategies. Mongolian chop there. Shades of Kazushi Sakuraba, shades of Hiroyoshi Tenzan. Discus lariat there. Stacks his man. And once again, only getting a 2 count. Bandido Duro for the 3rd time tonight with that rocker dropper, and he's getting elevation and impact on it. A lot of guys can only get one or the other. And once again, there's that nasty execution. And if he pins him, he's got him. Bandido Duro just won this rivalry. And yes, Bandido Duro comes out on top here tonight. 3 wins to 2 wins. Bandido Duro comes out your victor tonight, live on pay-per-view at Beef. I have to tell you, it's been Arachnid Soul in the booth. I had a hell of a time calling this match. We have more great action. Almost a self-respect that time. Bandido Duro picking his man up. A nod of approval, fans. We have more action on tap for you. You're going to want to stay with us. AAWA, this is where the action happens. Amazing match that time. And we look 17 minutes and 38 seconds. The execution. Bandido Duro wins the match, settles the beef, goes over on pay-per-view.